Hey, 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 hello everyone. How are you? Hope you all are doing well. Always remember, never compare yourself with anyone else, as no one else can play your role in this world better than you can. As whatever is meant for you can't ever be for anyone else. So, guys, I was going through social media where I see this young man in distress, and he was explaining that when he was much younger, he was taken advantage of by a man who everyone respected in his community, all because he had needs and no help from family. He ended up being a street youth but still had interest to go to school. However, he would wash motor vehicles and do any little odd jobs he could get. Now, if his life was where he could do almost anything he wanted and get home at any time, as there was no one doing any check and balance and no one really worrying about him. Everyone just there going on with their own life. Hence the reason why when this man offered to help him, and since he was already a mature man already known by everyone in the community, he felt good that this man was showing him attention like he was a real friend that cared in a father figure kind of way. He there thinking this feel more like a family connection with this older gentleman. And he being a youth, of course, he craved to have family that really loved and cared about him, but was shocked to realize that this older man had an agenda and had plans for him. Now, as he explained in an interview, this man come pick him up one evening saying he going to carry him go look girls, and instead took him away to Orange Bay where he was in for the shock of his life that left him all traumatized. First thing he did after getting home was telling his father, and his father said to him, "Don't tell anyone." You know what? So many Jamaican girls and boys, because sometimes people believe that it's mostly girls these things happen to. It happened to both girls and boys. And many of them have been through this kind of abuse from family, friends, and even people everyone respected and not expecting them to do certain things. Yet these kids end up being left helpless with no one to turn to and no one taking them serious enough to make sure they get justice. Because the same person who should save you are the ones siding with the persons who hurt them, which only end up making these situations more traumatic, and that trauma, it never goes away, because that feeling of never getting any justice hurts deeply and it stays with you forever, and there are moments when it can be triggered. Now Micheal explained that now, as a grown man and his father of two daughters, at this time, he went to the police. They never took him serious. He then told elders in his community his way of crying up for help. Instead, the community turned on him and called him names, further stigmatizing him, and he had to suffer all over again as a victim, as people jeered him and called him names, so much so he was ostracized in his community. He was then sent to juvenile home because he was seen as a youth with no direction and no protection, no family support. You know what is so hurtful and wicked about this? All this time, the man that did this act roam around free, still accepted by the community, all because he has a little money. Where they are left to feel like they don't have a voice. But there is something that these older folks never thought of. Children grow up. And while many of these children turn out to be outstanding citizens, some grow up as hurt adults. And hurt adults become hurt parents that can project themselves and in turn hurt their own children, not necessarily in the same way. Even being overprotective because of what you went through can be hurtful to a child. I myself have children, and I have never sent any of my children to spend no holiday, no weekend, no one day, no evening, go to no family party, birthday party without me, them mother or them father is there. Because guess what happened? Based on experience, they can't be trusted. Family in front of you is Mr. and Mrs. Dog. You see behind you are Mr. and Mrs. Drunkro. While some grow up so angry and heartless, they turn into ruthless criminals without any mercy. And guess who we have to blame for this deterioration in our society? Yes, those same older folks, because they have had the seed to plant. It's like they don't seem to understand. If you plant good seed and nurture it, you get good fruits. Likewise, if you plant bad seed and left it for grow a while, expect the opposite. Now, this young man, who is now a father, he is still hurt and he is crying out for the justice he never get after being released from children's home. A few years later, and realizing the man was never locked up at all. Even while he was sent away, he had thought that justice was being done because they promised him that justice would be done. Can you just imagine? Few years later, he come face to face with seeing the man that had hurt him. Instantly he went to the police station only to find out the man had got locked up and got bail, and that was it. Right there again, the system failed our children like they have failed so many other children. Now, of course, this has erupted this new anger that he's feeling for wanting justice, and it can't wrong him. It erupted something inside of him.
Watch ya, for you see face here, but you know a cornerstone boss a talk. I see the video ya and on a joke video. This a video ya. It's a video one serious video me a make. Hear me I say. The video ya afi Jamaica Constabulary Force. The police him down a Lucy police station. From Lucy CIBC office to the one we down there so. You see it. From headquarters to Lucy police station to Kingsdale police station. When me a 14-year-old, one man named Alfred Buchanan, otherwise known as Martin, in Curran where you got orange beer go molest me. I'm come back and tell you know, I report it to everybody. I tell the people I'm in my community and they laugh off of me and they mock me and a bag of things happen. You see me? CD end up here about here and CD send for me and send me go here homes. You see, I got caught one time in January 2015 and all them do I send me go here homes and I get fit person order. End up that I got jail. I left jail when I 18 and I come back and I tell the people them say yo, more and get justice because this man carry me go do whatever with me. I'm gonna get no justice for my thing. You see me? I'm going to as much time at over 10 years to solve the case. You see me? I could have killed him myself. You see, I could have murdered myself and I say no, I want to do it the law way because them say yo, for do things by the law. I try to seek help from Jamaica for justice. I try to seek help from all kind of people to get justice because it affect me. You see, but through your man, them say, oh, a man blow, oh, what me I tell them this, you see, my pain, now go so. Here, I have two daughters, and you see right now, how me and made, I might dead. But they not gonna know their father as no weak man, they're gonna know their father dead for what is right. Because you see, system I feel of every youth, I might tell all this from my heart. Either don't go come for me or don't go for him, but here you know, something go happen. I'm not going to wait much longer upon this to go nowhere. I take my gun as much time. So you boy Martin and me go come for you. I not if I want to go for my father, my mother or nobody. Just know this. Me I come for you. You boy Alfred Buchanan, aka Martin, we carry me go molest me when me are 14. Just know your time the very near. I'm not talking about in my mouth. Code up.
Oh gosh. You can see this hurt in this young man's face. It just rings home to him. When he was younger, he cried out to his own community, who then labeled him and shunned him. His life will never be completed if he does not get some justice in this case. It leaves me to wonder how much of these takeout going on in our communities are children now grown that were taken advantage of decide to come back and take their revenge. Because sometimes you see these takeout, and people saying, oh, Mr. D, him just at the bar having a drink, him not trouble nobody, him sneaking. Is something. Anyway, you see smoke, there got to be fire somewhere. It's just that if they don't talk or say anything, because not everybody going to come out and go say that happened to them, especially as a man, because them already telling our young men that them not for cry and them for tough it up and so on. Well, you know what it does? It eats away at them internally. And when they get to let it out, they let it out in crime and violence and anger and hatefulness. You have to give this young man credit. You must know how much it hurts. And it says a lot for his community. Shame on you guys. Because he already know most of the community, if not all, where he's from, know about it. The only difference is that they labeled him and let the perpetrator get away scotch-free. But it's not many is as brave as Micheal is to show his face and speak his truth and demand justice or else. Many of you older folks are the blatant reason why Jamaica is the way it is, an angry society. Many of us is because of our strong mind why we do not go after these perpetrators and exact our own kind of justice. Even the people who you think should stand out as elders that you can run to, the pastors, the police, the system, are all failures. Don't even mention the family members, because it depends on who is making the money. Because if the one that is making the money feeding everybody is the person that is a perpetrator, you know, so you're right, dash where I road. We want to label the next generation the worst and put the deplorable state of the country blame at their feet. But you older generation were the ones with the clay molding the next generation and did such an awful job and created what we have now, a failed state going straight to hell. And you older folks are the ones to be blamed mostly for all of that. So don't just sit there, you lot, in your ivory towers, thinking and pointing fingers at this generation. You lot are even worse. You lot were the silent triggers that set off what we now have to deal with. Now it seems the whole society is going to hell. So blame no one else but yourselves. I always said this, and I told you a lot, so be careful how you treat your children, our people children. They grow up. We need Lucy Police Station to right this wrong. And the police that was in charge of the case, that would have thrown this case out, need to be called to the courts to answer for this case. We are in support of you, Micheal, and we acknowledge your bravery, and we know it's a cry for thousands of children in Jamaica that wish they could have done the same thing that you are doing right now. Let's comment justice in support of Micheal Reid, aka Cornerstone Boss. However,
See face the here, but you know, cornerstone back attack. And watch you know, right now, me there by Lucy CIBC office. You see me? Yeah. Me left from down at Lucy CIBC office and I come up at headquarters. So the police, them currently have the matter back on track. You see me, them a work with the thing, you see me? Them a revisit the whole thing or whatever. So, this point in time, the matter is very sensitive. Certain things we can't go talk about, you see me? But I want to tell the people, so I thank them for everybody who reached out so far for make the video go out there. You see, I really respect that strength, you see, pray. The people who are sending threat, now worry about you, because it might go down. You see me? Only for respect, man, as you see it. Thanks a lot for the support so far. And for young man them out there we been through and me been through too, don't be afraid to talk up, bro. You see me? Females them get hurt too. I know I got to, you see me? But we have to just stay strong, you see? Only for greatness.
the authorities have disclosed they had charged Alfred Buchanan, aka Martin, and he was arrested and got bailed and disappeared, and that they have been searching for him for years. It doesn't seem as if they were really doing a thorough search, because anybody run a one place under one stone somewhere say anything about the Prime Minister, them find him same time, because it's alleged coming from people in the community that Buchanan was seen walking around in the community like a free agent with no fear of no police looking for him. We need justice and closure for Micheal Reid. It would go a far way for other victims who was never brave enough like Micheal Reid to come out, would be feeling of assurance that justice is done. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.